Ahoy, friends. It's me, Dave Landau. After a long night on stage, I like to kick back with a captain's hat and a fine cigar and watch the Dennis and Andy show. These guys are huge nerds, but they're the kind that you actually want to hang out with. Enjoy them. I do.
Holy shit, look at that guy on the wrong side of the highway. He's going to kill somebody.
God!
Hey! Hey!
What's going on? Joker wants to race. All right, come on, let's go.
Put your window down!
He wants something. He's probably drunk.
You're going the wrong way!
What?
You're going the wrong way!
We're going. Yeah, how did he know? Thank you.
You're going in the wrong direction! You're going to kill somebody! You're going the wrong way!
What is it?
We're going to be using aliases our next job to relate to each other by your Christian names. And I don't want any talk about yourself personally. That includes where you've been, your wife's name, where you might have done time, or a bank maybe you're robbing. Here are your names. Mr. Brown, Mr. White, Mr. Orange, Mr. Blue, and Mr. Pink.
Why am I Mr. Pink?
Because you're a faggot, all right?
Why can't we pick our own colors?
No way. Tried it once, doesn't work. You have four guys all fighting over who's going to be Mr. Black, but they don't know each other, so nobody wants to back down. No way, I pick. You're Mr. Pink. Be thankful you're not Mr. Yellow.
Yeah, but Mr. Brown is a little too close to Mr. Shit.
Mr. Pink sounds like Mr. Pussy. How about if I'm Mr. Purple? That sounds good to me. I'll be Mr. Purple.
You're not Mr. Purple. Some guy on another job is Mr. Purple. You're Mr. Pink.
Who cares what your name is?
Yeah, that's easy for you to say. You're Mr. White. You have a cool-sounding name. All right, look, if it's no big deal to be Mr. Pink, you want to trade?
Hey, nobody's trading with anybody. This ain't a goddamn fucking city council meeting, you know? Now listen up, Mr. Pink. There's two ways you can go on this job. My way or the highway. Now what's it gonna be, Mr. Pink?
Jesus Christ, Dennis. Fucking forget about it. It's beneath me, you know? I'm Mr. Pink. Let's move on.
I'll move on when I feel like it.
Woo, got chopped.
Hey, come on. Let's go, Captain Lindfors. Try again. Hey, everybody. Is there a window open? I feel a draft. Ah. Wanted a kiss and call your mother. Oh. That was a good one.
Hey, prehistoric forest.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Andy. I shouldn't have called the apple fritter a donut.
Really? What changed your mind?
Well, might have been that 2x4 you hit me with out there. Hurts, here. a little bit here, but mostly here.
Yeah, well. Miss, are apple fritters donuts?
Absolutely.
I knew it. Yeah, well, anyway.
Well, hello, everybody. Happy Monday morning. Let's kick this week off the DNA show way. It's the Dennis and Andy show, and we did a one-day convention in town yesterday, and we are back finally. Feels like forever, Dennis, with our comic haul. We usually do it after conventions, and this year just kind of got away with us with Heroes Con. I don't think we did one, and then Garden State, Dennis couldn't go, and I did, and I don't think I did one. But guys, we're back.
Yeah. We got caught up. We did one later, but it was a bit later. And this time, we thought, hey, we just got back from Charlotte Comicon. It was great. And it's time to show you guys what we got, talk a little comics this morning. Kick off your Monday on the right thing. Look at Marcus was first in. Marcus came to the show, so we got to hang out with our buddy Marcus and chat with him for the day. But yeah, always good time. Getting to see all of our friends, dealers, the customers that always come through. Had a blast yesterday.
We did. Moromi's in the house. Hello, Citizen Ronan. Hello. Yeah, we had a good time. Moromi last night. Real quick, there's a auction and closeout for Aaron Lepresti's Kick Carter last night. Ethan kicked it off. We did an art auction. I sold one of my little time-lapse drawings I do, the binary piece featuring Dave Cockram's beautiful costume design. That is going out today. I only mention it because Moromi was in the house and picked up some art last night. Got some good stuff.
Ooh,
as
nice.
well. So congratulations to you for that. And yeah, so let's kick off. I guess I guess I'll go first because I'm on this side. And when we do this, we like to, let's see, I think this is the correct one. No, there we go. We like to do that so we can show off the stuff. I'll go first. I mentioned I didn't expect Ethan to kind of spotlight when I came in last night to the room. He blew me up big. How was your day? And I mentioned the con, and he asked me what I got. And I said I got a book by the great Rich Buckler, and then everybody made fun of me. Ethan was like, is he really great? Aaron laughed, and I was like, well, let's not speak ill of the dead. I mean, Rich Buckler, yes, he was a chameleon. He did at DC Comics, he did his Neil Adams style. At Marvel, he fluctuated between that and Kirby, and he ripped people. He swiped stuff, but these guys weren't getting paid a lot, and I have a soft spot for Rich. So anyhow, I picked up Marvel Spotlight on Deathlock, number 33. Now, Marvel Spotlight, like the title, ran either a one-issue story or 3 to 4 spotlighting a specific character. So Deathlock first appeared in Astonishing Tales, and then he went from that, and he went to this issue, and then actually from this issue, he went to Marvel 2-in-1 and then from there, he picked up again with Marvel 2-in-1 with the Project Pegasus stuff. Anyhow, the reason I wanted this, it's drawn by Rich. He was a chameleon. It's drawn by Rich. It's also drawn by Arvell Jones and Mike Nasser, but it's inked beautifully by Klaus Janson, who pulled it all together to the point that I was looking at it last night, and I had a hard time telling which pages each of those guys did. And I think a lot of that is owed to Klaus. The other reason I got it, for you guys that don't remember Atlas, which was Stan Lee's brother, broke off to do a comic publishing company called Atlas. And he did cover layouts very similar to Marvel at the time. Well, Rich created a character over there called the Destroyer. I'm pretty sure it was the Destroyer. And after that company went down, literally brought the character over to Marvel, didn't change the design really at all. And his new name is the Devil Slayer. And that's another reason I got it, because the Destroyer, I believe, lasted one whole issue, and Rich drew it, wrote it. I can't remember who inked it, but it's really cool, guys. Trust me. Howard Chaykin did the Scorpion at Atlas, and I believe changed it to Dominic Fortune at Marvel. So there you go, a little history. So this is one book. It says $10. I got a few books from one dealer friend, and he always cuts me a deal, so I got it for a good deal. So there you go. First one down. Lengthy explanation, but I think it deserved an explanation. So
Yeah, very cool.
yeah. Oh, let me swap you over here. There we go. Oh, what is
Marvel's
that?
collector item classics. These are ones I don't have a lot of, and part of the reason is these are reprints. They reprint multiple different stories. In this one, I picked up a few of them that were in there. Here's like an
Yeah, I was
Iron
going to
Man.
ask, what does this reprint?
This one reprints Fantastic Four number 23, Strange Tales 126, and Iron Man Tales of Suspense number 57.
And here's another trivia question, and I actually don't know the answer. And if you don't, that's fine. Marcus, I'm sure, can find it for us. How many issues did this title actually run for? Do you know?
I think it was 22. I can pull it
So
up.
are you looking to get them all then? Because you picked up quite a few yesterday.
I picked up 3, and I'll kind of go through them. Oh yeah, look at Hawkeye.
Is this still the same one? Oh, that's so nice. I didn't know it ran for only roughly that number of issues. So, but they're still kind of pricey.
It's not a long run, and it's not one that I was really collecting. I think I only have one issue of it, and mainly it's
really?
Yeah, it's an X-Men. It's an X-Men issue. Here, I'll just show these since I have more.
I think I only have 1 or 2 issues of it, but I'll be honest, I didn't know it ran for only 20 some issues. But the thing that I find, I think that would be fun to collect all of them, but the ones you bought aren't even high grade, and they're still not cheap.
No. These are not cheap at all. And Deathlock is one of my favorite characters. Got my pitch read at Marvel, but they had something else planned. They went another direction. Yeah. Oh, look at Matt White's in the house. Hail,
I love
Matt.
Deathlock.
Yeah, Deathlock is cool. Deathlock is cool. I picked up the number 19. This is the second one in this series that I picked up.
What's that
Again,
look like?
It's in really nice shape. This one, it's Fantastic Four, number 27.
Nice.
Tales of Suspense 61. Tales of Suspense 51. Strange Tales 128. And Tales of Suspense, the Iron Man 61.
So wait.
A Watcher.
Even though you literally just broke everything down, my apology. Is that 4 stories it collects or just 3?
This one, let me see if they have it in the beginning. This one I think has 4.
Oh, so they fluctuated, you think? You don't think each of them was always 4? You think it might have been
Nope.
3 to 4?
No, some of them are 3, some of them are 4, some of them could be more. I'll know once I collect.
Here we go. So here
collect them
comes
all.
Marcus. Boom. It ran for 23 issues and changed to Marvel's Greatest Comics, reprinting just the FFs. So I have more of those. And you're right. Those were cheaper and those were stapled. And they just reprinted single issues of
Fantastic Four.
Fantastic Four.
Yeah, I've got some of those too back in the day when I was picking up, I had some Fantastic Four and I was trying to collect, pick them up. And I would be like, oh, I can't afford that Fantastic Four, so I will go that route. And I did. And it was a cheaper way for me to read them as a kid. This one I think is a double that I got, but boy, it was in really nice shape. And anything with the X-Men and stuff in it, I don't care if I've got doubles on it. I have to double check because I haven't
break
had
down for me what issue of X-Men it reprints, and or what actually break down for me everything it reprints. And if you don't want doubles, let me know. If I don't have that one, maybe I'll get it from you. Santiago Pellegro says Michael Collins' run as Deathlock was, in my opinion, way better than the original. Okay.
Yeah, this reprints Fantastic Four 28, and that's actually the first story. So that's where the X-Men come in Fantastic Four.
Oh, so it doesn't actually reprint a separate X-Men story?
Well, it's the X-Men from Fantastic Four 28. Right. And then it's cool. Tales of Suspense 55 and 60, Strange Tales 129. Yeah, I was just seeing if it broke down. Oh, look at that. Oh, what a great shot. Look at all the X-Men, even on those little ones coming in.
Marcus says, Marvel was always great reprinting their comics, and I agree. And I have a feeling that if they were to do this again, they might sell. Well, they do basically with trade paperbacks and stuff. I think they're not doing comics like this anymore that reprints 3 or 4 because they'd probably sell. I think they'd probably sell really well. And God forbid they put something out in that format that might outsell something brand new. So instead, they do the big epic collections and stuff, which are nice, but they're expensive.
Well, one of the things that they are doing, and I'm going to be doing them probably this week. What they're doing is they are doing reprints, but they're doing reprint foil editions.
Oh yeah.
And so what they're doing is both Marvel and DC are doing this. And I'll show you because I got a couple both here. This is the Godzilla #1. I love the foil, so I'm a sucker for the foil editions. But yeah, that is, and because of the glare, it's kind of hard to see. $4.99. It reprints Godzilla #1, and when you open it up, so all the original ads that it came with and stuff are reprinted in it. It's of course on the newer. It's the glossy paper. The colors really pop. So it's not quite the same feel because the other one on the newsprint, had that different style, but still with the colors and everything on this, these I do like these. It's the only time I'm picking up anything Marvel or DC right now because I don't like any of their new stories and the direction they've gone. But this classic stuff, yeah, I am kind of a sucker for this because I'll have the regular Godzilla #1, but just being able to, compare them. Yeah, these are cool. So that's a Godzilla one, and here happens to be a green. Well, this is a showcase, I think 22. Yeah.
Yeah.
So DC's doing the exact same thing. This is the foil version, and yeah, you can see on the inside. There's the original ads and everything that were right next to it. Cool stuff. I mean, this is just, I love the old books and stuff like that. So there's kind of the ending of the story. There's your Tootsie Roll Pop ads. And then
I will say that's where we differ. I do think the foil looks cool. And I like the fact that they're giving a choice, to the buyer by doing a regular edition and a foil, because I know you like the foil, but I don't know. I think when I buy these books, because I know I'll never be able to afford the originals of these books, that I'm like, I'll just pick up the standard, not foil, because it's the closest I'll ever get to it.
Marcus, how much are the foils? It depends. DC, they're running $5.99, where I think the non-foil is $4.99. On Marvel, this is the interesting thing because they're limited, and I think they might be like variants are hard to get. The cover on it you can see is $4.99. Nobody sells them for $4.99 on the Marvel ones. Like this one was $10. So I take that back. I can't say nobody. My comic shop, if he has any, he does them at cover price. That's why we love Tony. But a lot of them upcharge for it.
And I'm sorry, what the cover price is? How much did you say? Not, it's not 10. It's
Marvel is $4.99, DC's $5.99, but a lot of the stores are charging $10 for the Marvel ones. Right.
So the foil is not that much. I don't have one of the non-foils here, but I'm pretty sure cover price they upgrade that. I'm pretty sure the cover price is slightly different for the foil, right?
Foil's $1 more.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I don't know. I'm just more old school, I guess. All right. Let's see what.
I do like the collector item classics and things like that. You know, all the different when they collect multiples into it. You know, I do like that better. I do. They just don't do it anymore.
Well, Marvel's done it, and they call it. Oh yeah, they called it Marvel Tales. It's been a while since they have, but what they're doing is instead of collecting like different series, they'll do. And I remember this one because it was one I bought. They did Silver Surfer, right?
Yeah,
and it collected like the John Buscema #1, and then it jumped up and collected something from the 80s.
Well, hold on. We'll get to that because that's my next one because I picked one of those up.
No, you picked up old school Marvel Tales. I'm talking the ones they did in the past few years.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's where I'm saying they did it differently, where in the past few years, it was just titled like Black Panther. They did Black Panther, and they showed like his first appearance, then another main appearance, and then it always ended with something very current. Anyhow, another book I got that I was looking for on my wish list, I actually thought it might be $1 type book, but this one also, the guy was asking 10. I got it from a friend, so he didn't charge me that. But I've always wanted it. Big Conan fan, big Barry Windsor Smith fan, but Barry really started clicking towards the 20s when he introduced Red Sonja and stuff with his beautiful line work that he's known for. I had to get Conan versus Rune. It's got all the hallmarks of Barry. I actually read the introduction to it last night, and they did this specially because it was 25 years ago. So this came out 25 years after Barry did Conan at Marvel #1, and that was what kind of made them want to do this. And since Barry created both characters, Marvel was like, okay. And the artwork's just beautiful. It's got, even though Barry's not credited for the coloring, it looks like, I thought he colored it because it's, it's watercolor dyes, and it has all the hallmarks of Barry's unique style of coloring. So maybe Barry really worked with the colorist on it. I'm actually going to try and, the colorist's name is Eric Hope. And I might actually try and find this guy just to talk to him about the process and stuff. But it's great. It's got a lot of cool stuff in it. Great story. Just shows how much of a badass Conan is because he defeats Rune. Spoiler alert. He defeats Rune when this village or city that Conan stumbles upon. Dude, Rune took out the whole freaking city. Except for, as we see in movies, the one guy that's hanging on by a thread that can tell Conan the whole backstory of what happened, and then he dies. And yeah, Conan just takes it to him. But it ends with this great shot right here, Conan. I just, man, love the rendering style. I have that book, Monster, that Barry put out, that huge hardcover that was originally, I think, supposed to be a Hulk book. AJ Tom, who's usually in the chat, but he's at work. He came to Heroes Con this year, but he also came last year, and he gifted me that book. Guys, I have still yet a chance to actually read it. It is such a big book, but it's just gorgeous. It's one of those things Dennis can probably attest to. You know, we all take these, you know, whether it's a week-long vacation or a 3-day weekend, but let's be real. There's that saying of, I need a vacation from my vacation. I think a vacation that I would like, and like I said, maybe you'll agree, Dennis, is just say you've got a week off. You're not allowed to draw anything. You've got a week off, but it's literally, what do you want to do? And I'd be like, really? You mean I can just stay home in my comfy chair and stack up a bunch of stuff I haven't read, and I can just wake up in the morning, have my coffee, and just read and catch up on reading for like 7 days straight? My wife, of course, would be like, that's not a vacation. I'd be like, no, it is. It would be so enjoyable.
Boy, that sounds like the Ryan Reynolds when they interviewed he and Hugh Jackman when they were on Jimmy Kimmel's show, and they were interviewing each other. And they brought in Corin, she, you know, the baddie of the movie, and the story was she accidentally gave him COVID, and he goes, "Oh no." She goes, "Oh no, I gave you COVID?" And he goes, "Yes, for 6 days. It was the best days of my life." He goes, "I didn't have to think about anything or do anything. I could just do whatever I wanted.
I couldn't go near anybody.
Right?
Nobody could come near me." I mean, right? That's hilarious. I was wondering.
It was like euphoria.
That was so funny.
Oh yeah, love Ryan Reynolds, but you know, same thing. That's exactly his sentiment on it. So this is, I did pick up Marvel Tales. This is issue number 15 from 1968. You know, again, this is a classic one. This reprint, here, let me see if we can't find some good pictures. Reprint Spider-Man number 20, Strange Tales 112, Journey into Mystery 101. Yeah, this is, again, another great way when you're going to go through and, oh, there's Thor. Thor standing on his rainbow bridge.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, this one was in great shape. Look at that. Even not my favorite of the toy soldiers, but still, there's your 132 Roman soldiers. I got the World War II ones back in the day, but this is 198. Check that out. But I love it. I love these reprints. Oh, there's Thor and Giant Man, Ant-Man.
Oh, what's that one of? Avengers what?
Let's see if that one says. I think it's Journey into Mystery.
Nice.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, and so it's Thor.
Nice. Oh, look at that.
That is just, I mean, that's just classic stuff. So yeah, these I am now. This one's a lot harder to. I don't know if I'll ever go through and collect all of these, but the older ones like this, I just love them. And of course, you guys, I got these from Big Carl, my 7'2" buddy, who's always there bringing some great old stuff. I wound up picking up a whole bunch of fun books from him. He always brings something new. I know I got a little more than you did, but
yeah, go ahead.
Okay, because I was going to say here was one, and I had a double take. So I was looking at this and like, G.I. Joe. I used to collect them, got rid of them. I'm picking a few of them up, but this is what caught my attention. I'm like, that's not right. There's something wrong with this. So I recognized the cover, but I was like, yeah, that ain't right. Now,
hey, hold on for a second, Dennis. Santiago says in Spain they published a huge hardcover with everything from Barry Windsor Smith's Rune stuff in the late 90s. Oh, wow. Really? Now, see, that makes me want to go eBay looking to see if I could find that. So thank you for letting me know. All right. Continue.
Oh yeah, you made Andy happy.
Did.
So I'm looking at that and I'm like, that's not right. So I picked it up and was looking at it. And it's one that I did not know. Let's see if it'll zoom in on it.
Yeah. Yeah, second printing, it says down there, guys.
There
it
goes.
is. Second printing.
Yep, second printing. And this one, the second printing, that was it was a different price point. It was a 60-cent price point, and then this became a 65 cent. So they did price variance on it. So it's a second printing 65-cent price variant. And I was like, well, son of a gun, I know for a fact I didn't know they did that one with this one. And I said, I don't think I have my original anyway, but I am a kind of a nut for variants and cool things like that. So yeah, it was in solid shape, not great, but you know what? For something like that, that was worth it. So thanks, Carl. That was a cool one. I do love finding some odd books. Anything that catches my eye, I usually have to delve into.
Yeah, that's cool.
So
all right. Let's see. Let me look here. So yesterday for me wasn't besides those two books I started with they were the more pricier ones. Besides those, everything else was like dollar stuff that I was just really looking for. One of them, and I have this, and damn it, book sliding. I have this. I'll make sure it didn't hit the floor. Nope. I have this one book in trade paperback. They collected the 3 issues. Dave Cockrum is the creator, writer, artist. And he originally did this as a graphic novel for Marvel Comics. And I believe there was supposed to be a second one, and something happened, falling out. Somebody in the chat can probably correct me. So he went and published the 3 issues by himself. I mean, he made a deal with this publishing company. They're not even listed on the cover, the name of the publishing company. But I will tell you, it is... Give me a second. I like to do these teases, see if people can guess. Lodestone Publishing, 1985. Like I said, I've got the trade paperback. He originally did it as a graphic novel. This was going to be the second graphic novel. Stuff fell through. He broke it into 3 issues. The Futurians by Dave Cockrum. Issue 1. I'm just the number 1 type of guy. For $1, I notice a lot of this stuff never. I know, that's crazy.
It's not.
So I figured for $1, I like getting number 1s of stuff. Now, on the first graphic novel, I believe Dave inked it all himself. I haven't looked at it in a while. But this one is actually inked by Ricardo Villagran. And Ricardo just brings such a nice illustrative look to Dave's work. And I always like the Futurians as well. I like their designs, classic Dave Cockrum. But for instance, on this face, it's just nice and subtle. And I really like what Ricardo did. And like I said, for $1, if it was in really crappy condition, I probably wouldn't have bought it. But it's in really nice shape. So, like that guy, I mean, I don't know. It's hard to look at this stuff through the lens of today. And what I mean is, I still think that guy looks really cool. But I don't know, maybe if a kid saw it today, or whoever's, reading comics today, younger generation, they might look at it and be like, oh, that guy looks stupid or goofy. But I just think these are great designs. Really fun. I mean, look at that. I mean, come on, Dave Cockrum. Who's that remind you of? Phoenix.
Yeah.
It's like, you know what that is? It's like if Phoenix and Binary had a baby.
It is. I was just going to say it's for binary.
It is.
Binary.
Dude, totally. So you know what? I was like, and he still loads it up with the nice big shots and stuff.
Oh my God, that guy, he actually looks very much like, that's Gladiator standing there with his hands on his hips.
Oh yeah. And then that's Dr. Zeus and Hammerhand. Now, maybe the guys could have been named a little better, Hammerhand, but Apex Comics says the Conan writer Jim Zub watched my Conan Comics Hall video and made a great comment. Oh, dude, that's really cool. Congrats. Congrats. And then, he ends it with a nice little cliffhanger. And I really like the coloring. It's just flat colors, nothing super fancy. It's actually colored by his wife, Patty. The lettering is by the great John Workman. Would I like to see this reprinted and recolored? Yeah, but not totally steamrolled with the color, So there you go. That's my second one. Don't even a lot of these books I don't even have to read.
So one thing I'll say is, guys, as we're going through our books and stuff, if there's anything that you see that we're holding up that we picked up that interests you and you want us to do a book look or page through it and kind of go through it, I do quick flips where I can just flip through them in 60 seconds if you want, or we can do a longer one where we can sit down and kind of go through it page by page. So just if there's anything you see, leave your comments down below. And as we're doing it, guys, take that second, hit that like button. And if you're new, make sure you subscribe to it. Now, this is a title that got me kind of excited. The thing is, I'm familiar with it and I know a little bit, but I don't know my numbers. Mark is probably...
Oh, Dennis, we know you don't know your numbers. I have to help you with counting every day. It's getting really tired. I would think at your age you would learn your 1 through 10s. But
since I did, 1953, heroic comics. It started off with superheroes and it turned into war stories. The reason I always get a little excited when we're up in this range is Frank Frazetta did a number of he was an artist in several of these. So
is he an artist in that one?
He is not. So I picked it up and here, I'll show you.
Now, wait, did you pick it up thinking he might be, or did you know going in he wasn't?
No, I did not know because I don't remember which ones he did. I know it's in the late 70s or early to mid 80s. So I knew I was in the right range. But even with that being said, this is, again, just cool stuff.
You know how I could have told you if he was the artist or not without even looking through it? And I'm not joking. It's serious. Dude, the price. If Frazetta did that thing would have been priced a lot higher than whatever it was priced at.
Actually, I did look them up and they're not that much higher.
Really?
Right.
That is surprising to me.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. She did her job and now she's going swimming.
That's right. With the cape. Yeah. So I did check and Frank Frazetta did, this is 80. Again, 1953. Oh, and I do love this. Hopefully it'll zoom in. It says conforms to the comics code. Look at that. The little star. I love it. Frazetta did 81 and 82. So literally the next two. And then he did 86 and 87. So I was excited. Either way, I thought this was cool. It was a good old pickup for me. But it would have been really awesome if it was one of the Frazettas. So I got to make a note of that. So if I see these out in the wild, I do want to pick them up.
Randy Howell in the house. Hello, citizen.
Everybody,
welcome. Welcome to everybody watching. Please, of course, like, subscribe, and share. We love you guys for watching us when we do these comic hauls. We're just a couple adult guys that love collecting comics. And that's that. Ethan had a funny little, you could call it a prediction. He thinks, he was half-heartedly joking, but who knows? What do you think about this, Dennis? All our comics, if we don't sell them soon, not soon, but before we kick the bucket, once our generation keels off, the big collectors and all that, what's going to be left is like our kids' generation who gives no shits. And then when it's like, dad just died, I'm going to try and sell his books, and there will be nobody around that will want them. So they'll be worthless. All our money will be worthless. that we invested. And of course, I'm like, well, I'll be dead, so who cares? But
You
what do you
know,
think about that?
here's what I say to that. I think there's truth to it to a point. I think it's going to go the way of the Western market. You guys know I'm a comic appraiser, so we sit down and I'll go through books. Westerns have taken a giant dip because really that target audience has unfortunately started to die off, and you don't see a lot of our generation picking up Westerns. The World War II books still hold their value because but that is starting to wane. All the war books, and it all depends on, can they keep putting out movies to generate it? Because the kids today, they're more interested in videos, the YouTubes. We were talking about this yesterday. The number one thing in schools that the kids say that they want to be when they're talking to their counselors, they want to be YouTube influencers, or they want to be sports stars. Now, realistically, it's not that you can't be those things. It's just very, very difficult to be the best of the best in order to make a good living.
Don't you think that's almost like if I was a teacher and a kid said that, I'd go, you know what that was in my generation? Going, I'm going to keep playing the lottery and I'm going to win it. That's the chances. You know, I mean, yeah, the chances are obviously better than, if, I don't know, 100 people try to become YouTube influencers and 100 people buy a lottery ticket. The chances are higher, I think, if somebody in the 100 wanting to become an influencer are actually working out. But it's like the sports star. How many guys, we had a great football team in my high school. I knew a lot of the players, and they were all looking to play in college and break into the NFL. None of them did.
Yep. No, I'm just reading some of the comments and posting them up here. Turtles will keep it alive. The Turtles, they are really good. The East Coast has all the good cons. Alabama sucks. Yep, you have to make a road trip. If you're going to make a road trip, do Heroes Con or SC Comicon. Those are the big ones on the East Coast that won't overwhelm you, but yet they're mainly focused on the comic book stuff. So the
Turtles thing. Billy did a variant cover for Turtles #1 that just came out, written by Jason Aaron and drawn by Joelle Jones. And I do like her art, and Jason's a good writer. And I didn't pick it up, I didn't look at it, but they were saying it's really good. So I'd like to know if anybody in the chat has actually read it and what they think of it. Because if somebody tells me, oh yeah, it actually is really, really good, I might go get it, because I do like the Turtles. But so I'd be curious.
All right. Hell yeah, join us at Heroes. There you go.
Oh boy, I can see the top of this book. I already know this is one I made fun of Dennis for.
Yeah, you did. This one is from 1953. This was a short, relatively short run. I think it was about 34 comics. And
they're dirt cheap.
Peter Rabbit, and these are just old tales. Like I said, 1953. Here, let me pop open some of the artwork. Back when there was a lot more words to read and stuff. I love old ones like this. And like I said, every once in a while, sometimes it'll just catch my attention. I don't own any of the Peter Rabbit stuff.
Thank God.
And but I saw it there. Big Carl's always got some great older stuff. So every once in a while I just gotta, pick up something and give it. And even on the back cover, they filled these things full of enjoyment for your kids. And look at that. 10 cents. This one was issue number 16. Dime Avon, The New Adventures of Peter Rabbit. So, anyway, it was something I just wanted to pick up. It was something different.
Okay. Well, moving on. Let's see. So I'm close to done because I did pick up a run not a run in order, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of the same title to fill in some gaps. So I'll save those for last. So I've got two other things. Huge Neil Adams fan, as everybody knows. Even his continuity comic stuff, I was a big fan of, even though he didn't draw it all. But I try to get as much stuff as I can of the stuff that he worked on, and if it's certain characters I like. So I picked up, once again, for $1. It's a 0 issue. Shaman #1. Neil Adams cover. Looks like it's inked by Rudy Nebrez there. And all Neil did in the book is a five-page introduction by Neil. The rest of the book is by the great Filipino artist Alex Nino, and it is very well painted. I'll show that first. It's just really stylized. It features the shaman character, but I like the painting style of it, kind of abstract. So I thought it was really cool. And this is back, obviously, when everything was hand painted, So it's really cool. And then, like I said, it's got a 5-page intro here, story and art by Neil. So he did the pencils and inks on it, featuring this character. And I am. What can I say? I'm a big Neil Adams simp. I love the stuff he does. This guy's not riding a horse, he's riding a bull. So I mean, that's really cool. And yeah, it's just that's it. 5 pages of goodness. And then, of course, the one thing that never came out, even though he teased it some, was Rise of Magic. Never fully got completed. I wish it did. He did eventually put out a sketchbook showing some unrealized or non-printed art and sketches from it, which I bought. But this I thought would have been really cool. But once again, I mean, that cover, that is just awesome. He's not riding a horse, he's riding a bull, baby. So 0 issue there. Had to do it.
Torchbearer says, Dennis, do you like all the funny animal books? I do. Like it says, I rescued some of the Huckleberry Hound, Hanna-Barbera. Love Hanna-Barbera. Stuff out of my wife's grandma's house, including a near complete Huckleberry Hound fan club kit. Wow. That is, now I'm going to be honest, that is technically before my time. Maybe Andy's time, but definitely before my time. But that stuff was great. Any of that Hanna-Barbera stuff, Pink Panther. Boy, I used to have a bunch of the Pink Panther. I wish I went to got rid of those. Wheelie and the Chopper Bunch.
Wheelie and the Chopper Bunch, baby.
Yeah. I mean, but all the ones with the Analympics and the Wacky Racers, that's all great stuff. And I used to have a bunch of those. I used to do, obviously, Dennis the Menace for obvious reasons. The Richie Riches, as a kid, when I would go up to my grandmother's for a week, I always brought money with, and not to be bored at times, I would go down and I would buy Richie Rich, and all the different ones of those too. So yeah, that was a great stuff. So yeah, I don't collect them as much as I used to, but I still do love them.
So Apex says Peter Stone and Samuel Clark Hallbaker started their careers. They did. And Peter Stone, I believe, is a son-in-law to Neil, if I'm correct. And Samuel Clark Hallbaker, man, I love his work. That guy did not draw enough stuff. Oh yeah, Dennis is going to show a book that I bought for him.
Yeah,
so
friend,
like, Dennis, you don't have this. This is my second copy, but you can have it if you don't.
And the reason he showed it to me, he goes, "Do you have this?" And I actually had to look. I'm like, because I did as a kid, I had picked this up. I didn't know what it was at the time, but I was like, Spectrum. I didn't even remember it as a kid. I'm like, well, that's not Marvel. That's not DC. But I remember it. He held it up, and it's just one of those instant flashback things. Actually, I got a couple of them that I had. Matter of fact, I'll pull the other one up. but I opened up the artwork and just started looking. I'm like, yeah, I remember this. So that was cool. It was something that obviously I had to get rid of, you know, come breaking down
And
through
if
this.
he was like, and if he would have said, I don't want that garbage, I would have been like, no problem. I've got two of them now, one on the spin rack. It's early Tom Morgan. I bought this book off the rack as a kid, brand new, still have it. And like I said, I was just like, this is just cool. Codename Strike Force.
I was just gonna look up yeah, Tom Morgan, Fred Schiller. Interesting. Anyway, that one was pretty cool. One that I did pick up, which we were having a conversation, and this title actually came up. I know I didn't own it. The Classics Illustrated. You know, I love when I used to do Classic Illustrated when I was younger, and you know, for all the great stories, you know, you'd read a book and then you'd find it in comic book form. I thought it was great. But man, the 10 Commandments, we were talking about the cover, and I'm like, I know for a fact I don't own it. Big Carl, once again, has it sitting there, and I'm like, wow, we were just talking about this. And, you know, I'll show you some of the artwork that's in this.
The artwork is very nice.
It is, and
for Dennis.
Check out the size of this. This wasn't like one of the little stapled ones either. This was one of their special editions of it. Oh man, I absolutely love this kind of stuff. So anyway, we were talking. Just as we were talking about it, I wound up finding one out in the wild. I don't remember. This was, I think, $5-10, something like that. Great pickup for that price. I love it. I will, when I do have time, I am going to sit down and kind of flip through it. Is this from the 70s? Let me see, because you know the thing with Classic Illustrated. Actually, I think it's older than that. These actually, you know, because they reprinted them a bunch of times, you know, and there's a special way to find out what printing version. December 1956.
Wow.
Yep. It's a good year. Good. I think I'll save one of my best ones for last. This one I will show you guys. It's it's a newer book.
Oh yeah.
And this is the second printing for Void Rivals #1. And I know you guys are like, what's the big deal? And then this was the con exclusive that they had. And I've got the regular #1. And the reason why this is kind of popular, if the second printing didn't give it away, the new, you guys have heard us say, the new Transformers G.I. Joe universe that Skybound Image has put together is phenomenal. I collect every single title that they've got coming out. It's probably some of the best new comic books from, we'll call it the big three. And this is the first appearance of the new Transformers in the story in this. So, guys, if you are into, my buddy Joe got this. He's Gatsby Comics. If you guys like hard to get variants, especially the modern variant stuff, he specializes in that stuff, and he can get a lot of goodness. So what else you got to show?
All right. Oh, I've got more. I've got two more that are not the batch I was talking about. So let's see. Do this. So I got these. So I got the trade paperback or graphic novel that was put out back in the 80s because it has artwork by my buddy Bart Sears. It was one of his first jobs, and it was collected into a graphic novel. And I thought, whenever I saw these single issues, I'm like, I already got the graphic novel. I don't need them. Oh, no, I was wrong. These were different. So I picked up this #1, Hero Alliance, that has a Bart Sears cover right there. but the inside is drawn, and they reused. Well, they probably took the splash page that Bart did and made it into the cover. But then the inside of this is early Ron Lim before he went to Marvel, and I did not know that. So, and this, I don't know. I just think this stuff is pretty cool. I like getting work from artists I've worked with and know early stuff. So for $1, I got that one. And then Hero Alliance was also published through Innovation. And I don't have the number 1, and they didn't have it, but they had number 2 right here with another Bart Sears cover. Actually, it's a wraparound cover right there that Bart did back when he was a youngin', and Ron Lim drew the inside, and this is inked by Rick Bryant. This says 1986. So that means I was 16, and Bart did this when he was just a young guy of 23. So I was like, heck yeah. And once again, early Ron Lim stuff on the inside. So I don't know. I love collecting early stuff from people I know. I will read those. I am on the lookout for a couple more of these. And another quick short story. When I was at the Kubert School, I actually talked to Dave Campiti at a convention, and he gave me a script and was like, if you want, you can do sample pages from this. And I did. And I'm pretty sure I showed him to him. And then I was able to get work from DC. So that was that. But then I remember looking through a Hero Alliance annual or something, and I remember some of the story in it was the script that I did as samples, but it was drawn by somebody else. So
we got a couple.
Lake Kick, do you just like to get early issues of artists to embarrass them? I always see artists cringe at their early stuff. No, I actually like to get it because I like seeing where they started and, fast forward now where they've gone, and then you can still see indications of their work as they've grown. So I just like to see that growing process and stuff, honestly.
Yeah, that is cool when you do that. 1956, that's the same year that the 10 Commandments came out. Was it a movie adaptation? I looked, and it is not. It does not appear to be related. However, I would consider that great marketing. They know a movie's coming out about it. Why not put out a book and double dip? The movie's going to be doing their marketing on it. Put out a comic book. Hey, the movie's coming out. Check out our book. Free advertising. I think it's kind of brilliant. But yeah, no apparent connection. Santiago's asking, worth it? I haven't read Transformers since the 80s Marvel's run. I would say yes, definitely.
Hell yes.
They went, and this Transformers stories are so good. I mean, I love the Transformers. So then they came out with a real American Hero, the G.I. Joe title, which was its own thing. And they continued basically numbering it right from it. So they're up to like 309, 310, something like that right now. They kept on the numbering, but like all of the, they had do miniseries titles. So Destro's got a title. Cobra Commander's got a title. Duke had a title. They are all tied in with the Transformer G.I. Joe universe because they're trying to figure out what's going on with the Transformers. They've shown up. This plane transformed, killed one of Duke's buddies, and now there's all this, and the government's trying to understand what's going on. It is good reading. The artwork is great across of them. And yeah, if you guys haven't been following it, I know they're putting out trade paperbacks. Each of the miniseries are contained, but yet crosses over. The only one that's not is G.I. Joe, Real American Hero. And it is also the worst selling out of the group. So they will be reintegrating that main title in the shared universe where it was not. So very exciting. Very exciting. Hey, look at that. Katie did. Good morning.
Hello, Katie.
we were just laughing about you yesterday a little bit because there was a van that parked right next to us. Do you remember what it was called, Andy?
Yes, there was a van at the comic show unloading right next to us called Katie Did Antiques and Toys or something like that. I don't remember the full name, but that was the basic gist. Yes.
Yes, and we're like, wow, Katie did it. There's a lot of Katie did, so very fun, very fun. Glad you showed up. That was great timing. So we were talking about old things that I liked as a kid, and well, back in 1985, they came out with a set of comic books, and I thought it was kind of cool back then. Well, it's so cool that I think it's Mad Cave Studios is coming out with they're relaunching it. They've got the right Sectars.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, did you guys remember this? I did. I picked them up. We were talking about this, Visionaries, Silver Hawks. One of my buddies was there wanting to know about Street Sharks, if I remember Street Sharks, and I do. I didn't collect Street Sharks, but yeah, 1985. I remember picking this up. Bill Mantlo. It was cool writing, and look at that.
It was great stuff. I bought that. I've had that, and
Mark,
I'm glad Dennis got it.
Texeria.
Drawn by Mark Texeria.
Yep.
Once again, leg kick, early Mark Texeria work. He did issue 2, and then somebody else took over the art chores with issue 3 and on. So I need to get issue 2 just so I can have it all like that.
So I used to own them all. And when I did one of my purges, I got rid of all of that stuff. You know, the Visionaries, the Silver Hawks, stuff like that. I got rid of them. I wish I never would have. All the Star Comics, you know, Thundercats. Yeah, that was a bummer. So I'm going back. I'm going to start recollecting them. But Sectars relaunching. Like I said, I think it's Mad Cave Studios. Man, that's good stuff.
I'm very curious to see what it looks like. So, yeah, well, they're doing Mad Cave as Gotcha Man and all that stuff. So, all right. So, lastly, like I said, I got this batch of stuff. Most of these were, well, most average out $2 a piece, we'll say. I had to fill in some holes in this run. I don't have the whole run. I'm just looking for specific ones. But Silver Surfer from the 90s, Ron Lim, not early Ron Lim, but I think this is some I love this Ron Lim stuff. I love this period of Ron Lim's artwork. I really like his he's just a great comic book artist. The stuff he did with the Silver Surfer Rebirth and whatnot a year or so ago, I thought was fantastic too. Once again, you can put them side by side and see where Ron has grown. I was lucky enough to ink Ron for a Thanos annual and a 100-page graphic novel. Really like this stuff. So I got those. And then this was actually a really good deal. $5, really nice condition. The Return of Thanos. This book usually sells for like $15-20, and I got it for $5. So not even on my list, but when I saw it for that price, I couldn't help it. And of course, I wanted to get 75. I love these goofy anniversary issues. I got number 50. So there you go. And I will be reading these as well. So
I've been trying to get Andy to collect the whole Silver Surfer run.
Yeah,
I love that entire run. That is, other than Rom, if I'm just looking for one series outside of X-Men that I would just love to collect, Rom was always my favorite series of all time. You know, Shogun Warriors was great. Nice 20 issues. I think Rom was 75. But man, Silver Surfer's a larger run, but that is just great space goodness. If you like Marvel Universe in outer space, yeah, it's good. So my last one I think I picked up at the show, I had to double check just to make sure. Now, you all know that I own all the X-Men. So Why
Have
would
you
you
done
need to
that
pick
before?
up another one? Well, oh yeah, we all know oh, look at that, issue 60. We all know, oh, it's Neil Adams. Oh, but look at that. Roy Thomas wrote it. And look at that. Assigned Roy Thomas. Oh, yeah. Very excited. I got a buddy. He always comes over to my house trying to sell me this. And he made me an offer, like they say, make me an offer you can't resist. Well, he did. So, yes, I definitely snagged a copy of this. Oh, I just want to try and find a really good inside picture.
You might say he made you an offer you couldn't refuse.
That's right. That's right. Oh, look at the exchange.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah, check that out. Check that out.
Can't wait to come over there and steal it. I mean, borrow it.
Yeah, and then we get to see him right at the end. So yeah, did I wind up doubling another one? Yes, of course I picked it up. But, you know, my other one is a better conditioned one, better quality, but it's not signed. So for me having it, oh, and this one does have, you can see it's got the little stamp date right at the top. So like I said, it's solid. It was a good looking book. It's signed. I know it's authentic because he went and I was at the show when he went and got them all signed by him. So that was just awesome.
And look at this. Katie did. Thank you. Just back the Christmas book for kids. Thank you. I was worried you did not miss it. And I'm actually working on putting it together now with the text and everything so we can proof it and whatnot. So yeah, you didn't miss a thing.
Yeah.
Dennis, was that it for you? Was that everything?
That was the last one for that. And what I was going to do is, if you got something to show, go ahead. Otherwise, I'm going to.
Yeah, you go right ahead.
So one thing here, I'm going to show. There we go. So this has been an issue that we've been kind of talking about now. Comic Connect offers CGC certified giant size X-Men #1 with the highest recorded grade. It's been kind of a controversy. There's been a number of controversies in the slabbed market. I'm going to try and talk Aaron. He wants to Lopresti talk about this as well. I had sent him some of the information. So I said, maybe I can talk him into doing a stream specifically about this. But there's been a lot of black eyes in the slabbed market lately. So some of the books have not been holding their value. People are now cracking their books in order to, you know, sell it raw for more money than what they are being cracked. This was one of the interesting ones because now this is the first giant size, which is, you all know, one of my favorite books. And now that there's a 9.9, it's the highest grade. And it actually sold, oh, I'm going to try and pull it back up here. It sold for $170,000.
Whoa.
So that 9.9, which means, you know, the prices were, you know, in the 70s, 80s for a 9.8. Well, the problem is, what is the differential between a 9.8 and a 9.9? And we watched a video, and that's why I think maybe I'll talk Aaron into going on and doing it. So CGC actually puts out a video how they send in books directly from the publisher. They start pre-screening them, how they start knocking them out. Really, the difference between a 9.8, a 9.9, and a 10.0 is almost non-existent. So there's all these people that got 9.8s, and now they are talking about, because you can see the price differential, we may just crack it and resubmit it and see if we can't get a 9.9 this time. Once a 9.9 comes out in a book, chances are there will be more 9.9s that'll come out. So is it worth cracking that money, paying a couple $100, whatever it is costing for, because this era isn't under modern, and for the chance to go up to $170,000? I don't know. I like slabs for certain things. Like if my X-Men #1 that I got signed by Stan Lee, that's my pinnacle. I wanted it slabbed. I wanted it verified. I got it. I spent the money on it, and I'm very glad I did. But most of my books, I like them in raw condition because I like to open them up and read them. And
Yeah, you do.
I prefer my books unslabbed and raw, even if I have multiple copies. I do pick them up from people if they're slabbed. But I do kind of want to know about you guys, what your thoughts are on this. Torchbearer goes, I had the whole ROM run. I still do. That one I will never get rid of.
Oh, I know. Now you can save money. You don't have to get those big fat omnibuses reprinting them and all.
Yeah, slabs. I don't like putting my comics in a plastic prison. I agree for the most part. If you do, it's because there's something sentimental. You want to keep them good. It does protect them a little bit better. But overall, nah, I would rather just get a good bag and board. For most of mine, actually, for most of my X-Men, I use the see-through plastic ones. And, they're very sturdy. See, Torchbearer has nothing slabbed. Here, I'll show you guys one. Andy, chat for a minute. Let me go pick some up. I'll show you guys.
Sure. So Dennis is going to show you what he likes to put them in. I think it's this reusable slab that a buddy of ours sells that I bought some of. Or maybe I'm 100% wrong. I don't know. Guys, go check out, of course, Kor-Drath, The Awakening. We busted through 50K last night. Thank you, guys. The Vordoom playable character card is now unlocked for everybody to get that backed the book. We will be announcing the next stretch goal here in the next few days. I think you're going to be really excited about it. And keep backing Kor-Drath, The Awakening. If you like Conan, Game of Thrones, Dungeons and Dragons, you'll like Kor-Drath. Go check it out. And of course, Kor-Drath, The Christmas Miracle, the kids' book. Go check that out. I am putting that book together so we can go to the printer. What you got there, big guy?
All right. So instead of slabbing them, here, I pulled them. Oh, I might have to go in and redo it. I think my database is out. I have 2 copies outside of the one I just got of that. So
holy shit! Now you have 3 copies of that book?
Yeah, I do. But look at that.
Oh my god!
And you can see that they're in good shape. But as we're looking through them, I like them. Like I said, I don't want to have them slabbed. I'd like to open them up. Now I know which one I'm going to open up. But usually you have to take them out. Well, check that out. That is a plastic specialized backing board that is
clear backing board.
Yep. But it's not, when you think of boards, it's plastic. It's a special plastic that won't ruin your comic books. It's archival. And you can see right through it. You can tell, is there any spotting on it? Is there any foxing? You can check out the corners. So if you want to check out corner dings. So when I grade comics, there's a whole bunch of different things to look for. But these clear backers, they're very sturdy. Like you can see, I'm trying to move it, and it takes a lot of pressure to even move it. Whereas your standard backing boards and stuff just aren't going to do that. Thanks, Apex. It is a nice looking 60. So I've got my new one, which I'm going to put in a backing board just like this. And then I've got a couple of these. Like I said, I like my X-Men's in good shape. Here's a 61, same thing. All my old X-Men and stuff are in it. If you guys go to conventions, there's usually, especially some of the bigger ones, you can check out the back of it and the quality. You can pick these backing. The boards cost a lot more by far than the traditional, but for big ones like this, it's absolutely worth it. Uh-oh. Randy Howell, thank you for the $5. 3 copies. Auction. Let's see. Auction one to be included with the Kor-Drath shipment.
There you go.
Wow, Randy, I thought you were a friend trying to get me to part with my X-Men. Oh, that's I don't. Oh, I don't buy X-Men to get rid of them.
That's true.
My wife, on the other hand, would love it if I started getting rid of my X-Men, but she knows that is the one thing I will not part with. Particularly I would say my X-Men 1 through 200. I already told my daughter I'm being buried with it. That my X-Men number 1's going in the ground with me, and she, without missing a beat, said, "I got a shovel. I can dig it up."
And then I said, I got a shovel. I'm bigger and stronger. I'll just dig it up and put you right in the ground next to your dad once I do.
Yeah. So like I said, maybe I'll talk to Aaron, see if we can't do a stream sometime here talking about slabs versus not, because we are seeing a shift in the marketplace. And at the con yesterday, I went around to a bunch of the dealers. We always get a chance to talk. And the comic book pricing has leveled off. We were in kind of a nosedive here for a while. The economy's not great. People are having a hard time selling their books. The ones that bought it during COVID, they paid exorbitant amounts right now, and they lost big time. And one of the buddies I know that we were talking with, he is down, 65, 75 grand on an amazing Fantasy 15. That's how much he's lost since he picked it up. So, you guys, another thing when I say about, don't buy these. Don't be a speculator. If you're buying them, it's because you love these. You want to read them. You've enjoyed them. And yes, they'll be worth something, but so many people buy books on the basis of speculating.
Yeah, it's true.
Randy, going to close any minute now. Inland Presley's Kit Carter. Oh, didn't it close last night?
Well, you know how it is. You say close it, and you hope, you hope that, it takes a while.
Hey, guys, I backed not only Aaron's book, but that poster. Yeah, I was very excited. I actually can't wait for the poster. We were just talking. I'm like, I literally have no room left to hang anything. So I think I told Andy today at the back of my door that you'll see there, you will see Kid Carter when it comes out, that poster, because I got nowhere else to put it, and it's a nice, tall, long one.
Yep, same here. Well, you can't see the back of my door, but when I get it, it's going on the back of my door as well. I'll be able to see it, and that's what matters.
It's nice to buy back issues, but I buy them for the ones I missed out or want to collect again. Yep, kind of the same thing. Most of what I'm doing is filling in holes and stuff, unless I find something, which I know Andy gives me crap for, but I picked up that the Peter Rabbit one, which was cool. The Heroic Comics, things like that. A classic illustrated Sectars. I'll pick up stuff like that, all day long. If it's something that interests me. Everybody asks when I walk in, what's on your list? Don't have a list. So I finished off like my Planet of the Apes that I wanted. No, I think I'm actually missing a few of those. But my $6 Million Man, Bionic Woman, Space 1999, those are all collected now. So, I don't have anything. I think I'm missing one issue of Gold Key Star Trek that I need. I think that's about it.
Oh.
Randy said, congrats on hitting 50K. Yeah, we unlocked the first stretch goal. So
that's right. Well, that's the other one coming up this week. Got to dot the I's and cross the T's. on it, but we will be announcing it. So stay tuned for that. And of course, let's see.
Oh, Eric's asking, are you talking about Flair, the champions, and related one? So what I'm talking about is, and you might have joined us, Alex. I don't remember seeing you in the chat. From the 1950s here, the heroic that started out as the superhero and then went into the wartime comic. Like I said, there's some Frazetta ones that are literally the issue right after this one. So I will be on the hunt for those, because if I can pick up a Frazetta, I will pick up a Frazetta. But I very rarely ever see these out in the wild like that. So it's just cool when I do see them.
There you go. So, guys, before we leave you, we want to thank you for joining us, as always, Monday, starting off your week with us. Thank you guys so much for that. We will be back Wednesday with Dave Brink of Genuine Comics and possibly another guest. I got to see if he can come on at the time. Smaller creator, has a small campaign. He's starting out, and we like to help these guys when they're starting out. He's been on before, and I did a variant cover for him for this first campaign. So there's a little teaser. And of course, guys, Kor-Drath the Awakening. If you're fans of Conan, Game of Thrones, Dungeons and Dragons, go check out Kor-Drath the Awakening. We'll be announcing the other stretch goal very soon. Thank you guys for getting us the $50,000. Let's keep it going. And of course, Kor-Drath, the Christmas Miracle children's book. This is for not necessarily you have to be a parent, but if you are a parent, it can help teach your child how to read. You can read it to them. And we're doing an adult version too. The links are in the description below, so go check those out. We will be back. Dennis, Alien Romulus opens this week. We have to see if we can get tickets. That could be the movie for Friday.
Actually, I think it should be the movie for Friday.
Well, we gotta see if we can get tickets.
I am a fan of, especially Alien and Aliens, hands down, my favorite out of that genre. Overall, I've enjoyed everything that they've done. Some of the newer stuff, not quite as much, but you know what? I'm willing to give it a shot and take a look. It's got to be better than Borderlands. If you guys wanted to see Borderlands, check out our review before you go. It might change your mind. Maybe go see Deadpool Wolverine instead of Borderlands. Just saying.
That's right. All right, guys. We'll catch you Wednesday. Thank you for joining. Like, subscribe, and share. Bye-bye, everybody.
Live long and prosper. Thanks for joining us in the morning.